All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Tonight, it's the NFC's turn to take center stage as we've got a wild card matchup on tap between the Minnesota Vikings and the Brooklyn Beats. Win or go home is the mantra, and off we go. We're underway in this NFC wild card game. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. Call it officially a loss of 2 on the first play from scrimmage. Second down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12.
Let's go. Let's bring it. Let's bring it.
Out of the gun. Here's Prescott. And that's off the mark. Incomplete. Dalvin Cook is running back, the intended target. And now it's 3rd down.
I think we'll see more of them trying to get him the football out of the backfield. They love what he can do in open space, and they believe that he creates mismatches they can exploit.
3 and out, a real danger here on their opening drive as they come up on a 3rd and 12. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. J.J. Watt drops him for a 4-yard loss there, and that brings up 4th down.
We said it before the game, and I think it's still apparent. If these guys are going to advance in these playoffs, they're going to have to wreak some havoc coming off the edge.
Yeah, wild card round. They told us the wild card could be that defensive pressure. They showed it there. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. They start on the ground here at Sanders. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 14. Young. Now he's flushed out right. And incomplete.
No grounding call there. He had a receiver near the right sideline. It was pretty clear there. He just needed to get rid of that one.
And he did have a receiver in the area, but initially my view was obstructed, and I thought that was going to be grounding, but clearly the correct call made, and that is no call.
Is that why you threw your play sheet down? Is that why you did it? Is that the flag?
You can't be giving me up. I got a lot of issues up here in the booth. First catch of this wild card game for a 1,000-yard receiver in the regular season. He's got a first down, too. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. Kendall Beckwith on the stop.
Well, he's looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
From the 40 now on 2nd down. Young finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 11 yards there, 1st down. They'll run on 1st down. Sanders. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another 1st down. Young looks to throw on 1st down. Throwing left side, it's complete. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. Pretty solid start for the rookie here on this first drive, Charles.
Able to have some confidence, stepping back into the pocket, move around a little bit, find open receivers, and deliver. That just means his confidence is going to continue to grow because he's getting more and more comfortable with each completed pass.
From the red zone now, Young escaping the pressure right toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
I like the play call. Roll him out. Give him a chance to run it or throw it. In this situation, he decided to fling it, but couldn't find his man open.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Young will set to throw, and that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. They'll throw again. Young. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up. That's already the 3rd time they've looked his way on this opening drive. He's caught 1 of the 3.
That doesn't mean they won't continue to go in that direction. It feels like they think they've got something good going there, and they think those numbers are going to increase.
Every possession in the postseason magnified, and look, it's just the opening drive. They didn't get the touchdown they wanted, but at least they got on the board.
They got on the board. They've got their home crowd into it as well. And remember, in the playoffs, the game slows down a little bit, so every point is precious.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And a 3-and-out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out with a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go.
And he'll get about 3 as he takes this up near the 25. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well. But when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
On 3rd down, it's Prescott. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Brian Burns with a big-time sack on 3rd down. It's a loss of 7. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 44. It'll be Sanders to begin the drive. Try to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. It's a 2nd down run with Sanders. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports.
Choose the mic right here, over there, right? 52's the mic. Come on, go. You better bring it. Shift. Ball shot.
3rd and long for Young. He sets to fire deep. This is caught inside the 15. And he's into the end zone for the receiving touchdown. A big play there. 58 yards. And his guys find a way to stretch that lead. Now the extra point try forthcoming. It's up and good, and that'll increase their lead to 10-zip. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30.
At their own 28-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
Throwing on second down. Prescott looking for Thielen, but it's intercepted. Dante Jackson picks it. And this results in 6. Touchdown.
That was an interception, but on the field, the guys who are picking it off, they're not saying that. What word are they using? It's Oski. And that means catch the ball and go the other way.
That's your vernacular. I've never heard anybody say Oski.
Ask around. They'll tell you.
The extra point splits the uprights, and that makes our score 17-0. This is fielded at the goal line. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
At their own 25-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down. No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. J.J. Watt, his second sack of the night.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Got his man, Robbie Anderson. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. They'll get 34 yards there for an offense that has not found the end zone yet. That's a big play.
There's the spark right there. The big play that they needed. Now they've got to go ahead and finish this drive and put this ball in the end zone.
59. Mike's 59. Double dog. That's the way.
Prescott on first down. He's got a first down and more inside the 30. And he's got it all the way down to the 12-yard line. Good yardage after the catch. Is that play good for 30 and a first? Obviously, they're not where they want to be right now on the scoreboard. Big plays like that, though, that'll trend them in the right direction.
Yeah, a few more like that, they'll be right back in the game. And if they can continue to do that, maybe they'll inspire their defense as well and get a few stops.
And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Watch the run. Watch the run. Good sock, baby. That's a baby sock.
On the RPO, Prescott's going to keep it himself. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. From 10 yards out, as they are now on the board here in the first half. CD, it seemed like they were so focused on the guys out wide, they forgot about him out of the backfield.
That's a really good point because you've got to communicate, and oftentimes when you start counting receivers, that's exactly what you do. You start from the widest receiver, work your way inside. Who gets lost sometimes? the back in the backfield. That's exactly what happened there.
And he got into the end zone. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts of the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
He's going to loft one deep, and that's caught inside the 30. Touchdown! A big play there. 78 yards. And his guy's now an extra point away from taking a 3-score lead.
Well, that is certainly a deflator right there defensively. Their guys just came off of a touchdown drive. They're back in the game, and then bam, they give up a touchdown one play later. How about that?
And the momentum, which seemingly had shifted the other direction, thought we might be seeing a comeback. That momentum right back the other way.
Well, that is certainly not complimentary football that we saw right there. The defense is supposed to help their offense, not give up another touchdown.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2-minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
Here go 46.
It's now 2nd and 6.
From the 35 on second down, Prescott into the hands of his receiver, Anderson. Second quarter action, 1:56 remaining.
Let's go.
Coming up at the half, we remind you that we're going to do what we've done all year. We'll get you down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. Coach will have the lowdown of what's going on here in this wild card weekend as we begin the road to the upcoming Super Bowl. And he'll get this one down to about the 27. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean or else they'll just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. They get 14 there. First down, Vikings.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
It'll be a gain of 9, and that'll make it second and short.
At the 4-yard line.
Here we go. 59.
Back to the ground, Cook. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. It's a 3-yard pickup, and that sets up a first and goal.
Well, that was a unit that understood exactly where the first down marker was, handed it to their guy who could run it, created some space, and he got there.
Cook, and he gets halfway there down to the 1-yard line. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. Second and goal from the 1. They'll run for it with Cook, and he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. Dalvin Cook, as the first half is winding down, and the Vikings are able to cut into that deficit. Extra point by McLaughlin is up and good, and the lead down to 10, 24-14.
Vikings 14.
So the lead back down to 10 as things get a little more interesting, and the kick is away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line.
At their own 24-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. They'll keep it on the ground again here. And he'll push forward here for a good little run as the clock continues to run. It'll be a gain of 7, and they get it back to a 3rd and 3. So we come upon halftime here in this NFC wildcard matchup. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, one of these two teams about to play their final half of the season as we're back at it in this NFC wildcard bout. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. We have not seen much on offense from either side. These last few drives, it has been a struggle, hasn't it?
Totally, and you're thinking to yourself right now, if you're on offense trying to get things figured out, okay, we self-scout every week in our game plan. How many things do we do at certain times? What are our tendencies? Time to go to
the Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Harrison Smith on the safety blitz, able to get the sack. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. To throw, Young. It got his man complete. A gain there of 30 big ones. I guess that answers the question of whether or not they're going to try to play conservative and protect this lead in the third quarter.
And I think this is something we're seeing more and more of in the NFL. Teams not playing to protect leads, teams playing to extend them.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Flush to his right. Going deep here for Bryant. It's caught inside the 25. And he takes us just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. A gain there of 30 big ones. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Shotgun snap into the give to Sanders. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. This game not quite as good as the last, but still over 40 yards between the two.
That was good, tough running right up the middle. And if the defense can't penetrate and make him slow his pace or change direction, that's often the end result.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. And it's caught. Touchdown. An 11-yard touchdown. And his guy's now an extra point away from taking a 3-score lead. There was a lot of zip on that pass, and baseball might have called that a frozen rope.
I like it when you bring the diamond into the game. I'm going back to the gridiron. Had some heat on that bad boy. Sometimes you throw a touchdown pass, and sometimes
you throw, what, a touchdown strike?
There you go. That's my man, in concert.
Extra point right down the middle, and that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27.
At their own 27-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And their halftime hole now even deeper. And they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
Go, go, go.
Again, it's Cook. And they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got to just pin their ears back and get after him now.
He's going to air one out for Anderson. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down.
And attempted a deep ball there. They didn't get it. But, boy, they're going to need a few of those to actually hit in order to get back into this game.
Good thing they do have a little bit of time here still left in the contest. Decent-sized deficit, but not one that they can't manage. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down.
47. Mike is 59.
Prescott from the gun. Open here, Adam Thielen. And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
So how do you beat man coverage? First of all, you want to be a superior receiver, but you know something, that guy is covering you, he's usually pretty good too. So the corner route is usually a great spot to get it done.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 12 yards there, 1st down Vikings.
Well, they obviously read man coverage their partner, and he got downfield, broke down the defender, made him
What do you
think,
mean by that?
he made him think he was going to run a different route. Probably thought he was going to take it upfield. Then he curls back inside for the completion.
1st down, here's the run with Cook. And he's got this one down to the 10. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have it 1st and goal. So a decent deficit at this stage in the second half. 4-down territory?
No doubt about it. There's not a chance that he hasn't looked ahead and said, okay, if we gain yardage on this play, this is what we'll do going forward. If we lose yardage, this is the play call that I'll have ready.
First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. They'll run with Cook. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. Now that sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down. They try again with Cook. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. The 2nd down play not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. 1 quarter remains in this NFC Wild Card matchup. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. They come up in an offset eye. They gotta have 6 here. It's 3rd and goal. They run with Cook. He's been busy tonight. And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. Dalvin Cook saving his best for the playoffs with his third touchdown of the game. And the Vikings are able to close the gap just a bit. They go for just one here as it's up and good. And that will get them one closer. That'll be taken in the end zone. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line.
At their own 24-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first.
And a big loss here as he's taken down.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. There's a ball thrown right side and complete. And he is out of bounds, able to get it across the 20-yard line. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a third down. Young on third down. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down. Critical play in this football game because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 30-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
Brings up 2nd and 2.
8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. Looking to throw. Prescott setting up the screen for Cook. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, you're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
Prescott now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Now Prescott dancing to his left. He's going to air one out for Anderson, and that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Under 4 to go now as they come up on 2nd down.
Here we go, 47. 59.
Prescott to throw it. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
Now, he's been a busy man out of the backfield. They've looked his way quite a bit so far in this game.
Nice job there defensively, though, adjusting, because a couple of his earlier catches, he was wide open. Not that time.
You mentioned the key word, adjustment. A better cover man on him now in space.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. Dante Jackson picks it, and they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. Now, the previous drive they punted, but that was just the first time they've had to do so in this game.
And when they turn on the game film, the coaches will rant about this, right? They'll say, oh, God, we got to move the ball, guys. We can't punt the ball away. But they have to keep smiles off their faces because that's the first time in the game they've had to do so. They've moved it quite well. They'll overall be happy with what they've seen.
They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. Now Sanders, and an alley to run. He's got daylight. The 20. Touchdown. A great effort there. 64 yards. And his guy's now an extra point away from taking a 3-score lead. Well, they had done a really nice job on him through 3 quarters plus, but you just had that feeling eventually he was going to get loose.
And this is why coaches always preach that it's a 4-quarter game, right? It gets trite for us. It gets trite for the fans. This is exactly what they're talking about. What you did before was terrific, but will it stand up if you start giving up big plays as we saw there?
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Complete. It's Johnson. His first catch of this wild card game, and it's good for a first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Prescott now 11 of 17 passing thus far. He's got his guys a 1st and 10. Off the play fake, Prescott. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Chris Jones forced his way through, drops him for a loss of 10 yards. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Another try after the first down sack. Prescott, and he's got it complete to Anderson. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. A nice pickup there, 19 yards. And they're set up better for 3rd. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They'll run it. Here's Cook. And he will have the first down as he's brought down up near midfield. 2 yards and able to get the first down in the process. They run again on first down. Cook. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. You know what the converse is, though? You've got to win those one-on-one blocks, and when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. He was looking for Adam Thielen there, but now it'll be 3rd down. 7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. Prescott down. The open man is Smith. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Irv Smith Jr., 53 yards. And the Vikings are able to cut into that deficit.
You've got to understand situational football because they're playing with the lead here late in the ball game. So the back defender has got to be as deep as the deepest receiver. Keep everything in front of you, rally up and make the play.
Yeah, you would think they had the 3-score lead. Now it's down to 2, but 3-score lead here late, that they wouldn't give up a big pass play like that, but they did. And the hands team does its job. They're able to secure it. So they elect to decline it.
And why not? Just go ahead and let the play stand, and they'll take that.
Ready. Time to end it. It's just me and you. It's just me and you.
Sanders here as they run out of the gun. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with 65 seconds remaining. So 2nd and 9, and you'd have to figure just about all 11 probably crashing the line here. Another run here with Sanders. And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they'll get it with just a shade under a minute to go in the game.
Under 10. 10.
They'll try and run forward with Sanders. Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. The Vikings going to use their third and final timeout as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. And this one is right down the middle. And that will stretch the lead up to 13. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but it's still 8 up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They may have to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out.
That one good for 37 yards. Johnson's got it complete. He's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4. In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense.
Here we go. Go right in. Here we go, D. Get off the field.
They'll throw again. Prescott. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Brian Burns in there to drop him as that clock continues to run. And Charles, on the losing side of things, you know, they didn't come in here as the favorite to these playoffs, but they came